Okay. Um, you see the date, Monday, August 17, 2026, 10:50. Um, I didn't anticipate doing this particular video, but this is how I document everything. And so there's no mistake as to what I say or what I put out. But this one here is kind of important because I have additional information. And this is the T-Mobile issue that I have. And I forgot to basically say that if you look at the cease and desist, it says James Lewis and Lewis surveillance. And so what T-Mobile
Oh.
has done is this is not a personal account. This is a business account that they sent a cease and desist. Okay,
Uh, I
but
see.
we're about to change the whole dynamics of everything because I now have the information on the employee, and even though Fairfield Police Department deny, I'm going to stay cordial with this. Um,
Right.
they don't have any public facing information that, well, you know what, real quick, so you can already tell that I got my AI model up and
Yeah.
running. um, Before I start this, um, because I'm going to be filing a complaint with the Solano County District Attorney's Office Consumer Fraud Unit,
Right.
and
Right.
I'm going to have my AI model that you see that is here. This pretty much tell a whole story for me. See, that's just what
Right.
this is what I love, that we're in the era of AI, and the fact that I'm a 67-year-old black man. If
Right.
I didn't have the knowledge that I have, I wouldn't be able
Yeah.
to do what I'm basically doing. And so, which
Right.
is a point of fact is that, see, this is, oh, you got to get a lawyer if you want to do this. Oh, it's a civil matter, you got to take him to court. No, 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 no,
Right.
no, no. We already know how that all plays out, how long that basically take. And so where T-Mobile is going to find out is that saying you mess around, you're gonna find out. And so um, they don't realize my background, which is going to be evident, very evident in this video. But first, I need to clear something up that I already had did
Right.
a research. So to my AI model co-host, I need you to pull up the city of Fairfield Police Department, and I need you to find any policies, memos, anything that's public facing on their website that
Right.
defines what is a civil matter versus a criminal matter. Engage.
Okay.
Uh, so check, bring up their website
On it.
and search it.
Yeah. So, looking at the publicly available Fairfield Police Department site and transparency portal, I don't see a public policy that defines civil matter versus criminal matter. It just isn't published there. If you need the exact criteria, you might want to submit a California Public Records Act request to ask for any written guidance or training materials on that distinction.
No, 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 I don't want to do that. Because
Okay.
if it's not public facing to where the public can
Right.
read themselves, see, their Fairfield Police Department is telling me, well, hold on, let me back up. So
Okay.
when I was SFPD, same thing, San Francisco Police Department, okay,
Right.
they define things as, and I forgot how we were trained in the San Francisco Police Department. So due to the fact that I'm a
Right.
former officer, okay, look at the San Francisco Police Department website and see if they have anything public
Right.
facing as to when reporting what defines criminal versus civil, if they have it
Right.
on their website.
Checking. Okay, so on SFPD's current site, there isn't a simple public page that broadly defines civil versus criminal, but there are a few public references that touch on it. Department General Order 2.01 says officers may arrest even if a crime originated from a civil dispute. And on the financial crimes page, they suggest civil remedies when no crime can be shown. And the DPA summary notes that SFPD reporting policy requires written reports for criminal investigations, but not for matters determined to be civil in nature. So it's more like contextual references than one clear definitional policy. If you're looking for a strict definition, it may not be published on the public site.
Okay, so let's jump back to the City of Fairfield Police Department and look through their, I don't know if they call them general orders or rules or whatever they basically are for police officers. See what you can find that's publicly available on their website.
Okay, let me take a look. All right, so here's what I found. Fairfield PD's transparency portal hosts a lexical policy manual, plus loads of training bulletins and directives. I still don't see anything that explicitly defines civil versus criminal. If you're thinking the distinction should be spelled out, a good place to check next is the report preparation section inside that manual, because that's commonly where thresholds for when to document suspected criminal conduct tend to live. I haven't pinpointed language yet that squarely answers your question, though.
Oh no, you're on point. You're doing exactly what I need
Okay.
you to do. And so I got to give kudos to my old department, San Francisco Police Department, because we have general orders as to how to deal with civil matters. Okay, so
Right.
officers can actually cite to the public when they say it's a civil matter and you need to take it up civilly. Okay.
Totally.
So, boom. That's what I want to get out the way. So let's jump to the. I'm going to. So due to the fact that the City of Fairfield Police Department did not want to take my written report as I demanded, and I sent a follow-up email to the police chief and the lieutenant, and I laid out that 3 questions that I wanted to answer. That what makes my case truly civil if I'm telling them that I've been scammed. It's fraud by deceit. I mean, I get it because the fact that my previous law enforcement career, and I'm not trying to, which many do. It's like, well, yeah, I used to be a cop, and so no, I did it the best professional way. I have it all documented based on in the emails, and I constantly. And just so that everybody know, I'm not bashing the City of Fairfield Police Department. It's a very fine department. The men and women of the Fairfield Police Department do an outstanding job, and I thank them for their service. Okay, and so based on that, they can only follow what is told to them. Okay. Now, when I filed my online report, I was trying to save them time from an officer, because this is something that I know that the Fairfield Police Department really could not investigate. So I think this is more of a systemic type situation that's affecting a lot of consumers. So this needs to go beyond, but it's kind of hard to actually pinpoint and prove.
Right.
My point is I identified one employee that did it to me.
Right.
That's the poster child. That's the
Mm-hmm.
person they need to go after, okay? And ask
Mm-hmm.
them, okay? Bring them in and say, did you do these things that he's alleging?
Right.
And so, but that's me. So
Right.
I took matters into my own hand. So I'm gonna jump past the cease and desist letter that I got from T-Mobile, and again, for the record, they gave me, James Lewis, in my business, Lewis Surveillance business account, a cease and desist. And I made a complaint that is yet to determine if they got it. My belief, based on how that letter came, I don't think that manager forwarded my complaint. But I can promise you one thing, we gonna find out. So so now, I wind up going back to the store. Not today.
Right.
In the past. See, in the past, and I've given it time for days to pass, because once they find out that I came back to the store before they sent me the cease and desist, which at that time there was no need for me to take a picture, because I just needed his business card. And so I'll just say that he handed me his business card, just doing regular business as to whatever I was doing in the store at that particular date and time. And I don't know. I might have gotten a receipt, but right now I can't remember. So I might have lost it, but I may find it. So as of right now, I don't have a clue where that particular receipt is. So if I was compelled to produce that particular receipt, I'm saying here on Monday, August 17, 2026, I can't find it. But I do have the business card of the salesperson that helped me on that day of my initial incident of July 9th. So what I'm now going to do is, and this is what, for people that don't really know about how law enforcement really work. I mean, I'm from old school policing. I started SFPD. Well, actually, I started San Francisco Housing Authority Police from 1982 to 1987. Switched over to SFPD. So my years is, just so everybody know, 5 years San Francisco Housing Authority Police project. We were the project police, okay? And then 29 years San Francisco Police Department, where I honorably retired. But then there's going to be some people who says, wasn't you suspended for a year? Yes, I was. It's called Videogate. Look up SFPD Videogate, and you're going to see me all through up in there. So at whatever point in time when they're trying to tear my character down, and still tell them what else they're going to basically do if we ever go to court, because that's the nature of the beast. But right now, see, I'm showing transparency right here. So what I did was drafted a letter to the Solano County District Attorney's Office, and it's going to be going to the Consumer Fraud Unit tomorrow or Wednesday, sometime this week. I have to pull, because I got also going to be one going to the California Department of Justice the
Right.
Attorney General's office, and this
Mm-hmm.
is on this incident, okay,
Right.
um, as well as the Federal Trade Commission. Let's make a fraud
Mm-hmm.
report, okay.
Right.
So, oh, as well as to the California Privacy Protection Agency as well, because based on how my California driver license was used, it may
Right.
have been used unethically. I'm going to say it that way.
Right.
Unethically.
Right.
Whether it's civilly or criminally, I'm just putting unethically. So, with all
Mm-hmm.
that said, and me yapping for about 15 minutes, but I know a lot of people is intrigued because there's a lot of people that's been hitting my LinkedIn posts, and
Right.
I got to check the views on YouTube, but I'm not really looking for big numbers on YouTube. All
Right.
this is for me documenting. See, timestamp,
Right.
put it on YouTube, so
Mm-hmm.
the record stays clean and it's within the community standards. You don't see me
Right.
up here
Right.
cursing and going off and all of that stuff. Or
Right.
so anyway, so I have that that letter's completely done, and so I'm gonna turn it
Mm-hmm.
over to my AI co-host model,
Mm-hmm.
and just go ahead and read the whole letter that
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be filing the complaint with the Solano County District Attorney's Office. Tell them.
All right. Thank you, James. What follows is a summary of the complaints you've prepared for submission to the Solano County District Attorney's Consumer and Environmental Crimes Unit. On July 9th, 2026, you went to the T-Mobile store on Gateway Boulevard in Fairfield because your Samsung Galaxy S22 entered the boot loop after a software update. You were told a replacement device would be sent through your protection coverage, and during the same visit, you purchased a new Samsung S26 Ultra. The complaint focuses on whether the representations made that day and the subsequent cancellation of the replacement were authorized. Rather than relying on memory, you've preserved receipts, account records, timestamps, and other contemporaneous documentation so that the facts can be checked against business records. You delivered a written complaint to the store and later received a cease and desist letter from T-Mobile addressed to James Lewis and Lewis Surveillance. One question unanswered is whether your original complaint was ever forwarded through T-Mobile's internal process. You are asking the DA's office to review the matter, preserve relevant records, and determine whether any consumer protection issues fall within its jurisdiction. This video is meant to document your account in a transparent way and allow the appropriate agencies to evaluate the facts and apply the standards they enforce.
Couldn't find couldn't find my button. Oh my god! I gotta change the plug-in on that.
Mm.
Okay, so um, everyone that's been following this knows the story,
Right.
and hold on, I'm having some audio issues.
Okay.
And so there's no real deep reason for me to go through the complaint because I've already laid it out
Right.
over across the other YouTube videos. So
Right.
that's what inside this complaint. Now,
Mm-hmm.
also put together, give them a summary of the Federal Trade Commission complaint that I'm going to file against T-Mobile. Tell them.
All right, but one sec. So here's the quick frame for the FTC complaint. On July 9th, 2026, I went to a T-Mobile store in Fairfield for help with an insured S22 that had become unusable after a software update. I was told a replacement would be sent through protection, and I purchased an S26 Ultra that same visit. What I'm reporting is this. The replacement never arrived and was later shown as canceled, and I did not knowingly authorize that cancellation. I documented the sequence, preserved receipts and notes, and also received a cease and desist letter after submitting a written complaint to the store. Through the FTC report, I'm not asking for a ruling. I'm submitting a documented account so the agency can evaluate it along with any other information it may have. As with everything here, let the record speak and the evidence lead.
Okay, so now there's another complaint I'm filing, and that's to the California Department of Justice. And that's similar to the one that's going to the Solano County District Attorney, but it's a little bit different based on what they do. So I will have my model explain what that one is more focused on. So go ahead and tell them.
Right. So the complaint to the California Department of Justice is framed around the Attorney General's statewide consumer protection role rather than a local charging decision. It lays out the same core facts. July 9th visit, a promised replacement alongside the S26 Ultra purchase. The later cancellation you say you did not authorize, but the ask is different. Here the request is that the AG's office review the documented records as a potential consumer protection matter. Look at whether the representations match to what was actually authorized and coordinate with any other agencies as appropriate. It does not ask the AG to presume violations, only to examine the records and let the facts govern any next steps under California law.
Okay, so that's complaint number 3. And the last agency that I'm going to send, I'm getting a reverb or something, so it's echoing in my ear. So the last complaint will be going to the California Privacy Protection Agency. And that's stemming around the usage of using my California driver license, going into my account. So I'll have my AI model explain why we're filing a complaint there as well. So you can go ahead and tell them.
Sure. So the fourth filing is with the California Privacy Protection Agency, and that's about data handling, not whether a crime occurred. The question you want answered is narrow: whether your personal information, including your California driver's license details, was collected, used, retained, or accessed in a way consistent with California privacy requirements. You're not concluding misuse, you're asking the agency to check the company's practices against what the law requires based on records and audit logs. It's the same theme across all filings. Document, verify, and let the appropriate authority decide what the evidence shows.
Okay. I'm glad I'm moving this real quick. And see, and this is the one thing that the people don't realize, but then again, it can be overwhelming as to these complaints. Okay, I done all these complaints in under 10 minutes, and that's because they build the AI models, and I'm the one that put in the data.
Right.
You know what? You go ahead and tell them as to how I build my models, and that it's me, but AI is not making up the facts of the incident.
One sec.
Right.
Sure. So here's the plain version. The speed isn't because AI invented facts. It's because you built your own models around your own documents and timeline. AI is doing the sorting, cross-referencing, and structuring, but the underlying facts come from your records and your account. Your law enforcement and surveillance background shaped how you organized that material long before AI came in. The result isn't AI making a case, it's AI helping you surface and present what you already documented. That's why you could move fast on four agency specific complaints while keeping the facts consistent and tailoring only the regulatory lens for each one. Net net, the evidence is still what gets tested.
Okay. See, that's gonna help me in the future if I ever have to testify. I
Right.
can come back to this and refer to this YouTube video. Um,
Right.
as I close, I wanna hit on something hard
Mm-hmm.
because I know it. I don't look it, and I bring up my age because it's very important. I'm 67 years old. I'm
Right.
over 65, and so there's protections for senior citizens like myself, just like domestic violence, and police agencies are supposed to conduct themselves accordingly as to the laws. And I'm hitting domestic violence because it's like um, we know what happens when law enforcement do not take domestic violence report and the other person winds up get unalived, and
Right. Right.
there's a lot of issues, but there's also a lot of protections legally for seniors over 65
Right.
that police agencies are required to do as well. Under elder abuse, elder financial crimes.
Right.
Um, go ahead, go ahead and tell them. You ain't got to go deep, but just explain a little bit more better than what I'm doing as to the the elder crimes for here in California.
Hmm. All right. Here's what you could say. Before I close, one more point. I'm 67. California has laws that give added protection to elders when there are allegations of fraud or financial exploitation. That doesn't presume what happened here. It just means my age is a relevant fact for the agencies to note. My role has been to document what occurred and preserve records and submit them to the proper authorities. Their role is to review the evidence and apply the law. That's how the process is supposed to work. And that's what I'm asking for, a fair look at the records.
Now, not saying that any crime has occurred, but
Mm-hmm.
what penal codes, as for financial crimes, and what penal code is for elder abuse?
Checking. For the narration, you could keep it careful and say something like, because I'm over 65, California law recognizes added protections for elders in certain circumstances. I'm not saying any crime occurred or that any specific statute was violated. That's for the authorities to determine if after review. My point is simply that there are laws on the books addressing financial crimes and additional protections for elders. For example, Penal Code Section 368 addresses certain crimes against elders, and Section 532 addresses theft by false pretenses. Whether any law applies is up to investigators based on the evidence. That
Okay.
keeps it accurate.
Yep, that that's exactly how I wanted to close out. So
Good.
this is what's about to go down.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm not letting this go.
Right.
Um, I never let things go.
Right.
I got a lot of stuff working right now for people that know me. But these YouTube videos now give everyone an insight how deep I am into using AI
Mm-hmm.
within my business. This
Right.
is actually what I do partly, but everything was initially, well, no, everything initially built to fight my legal battles because
Mm-hmm.
based on certain things I'm involved in, couldn't get an attorney because they had the
Mm-hmm.
California bar involved, and attorneys go, "Oh no, I can't go
Mm-hmm.
fight in the California bar on another attorney." But
Right.
lawyers should beware because if more people becomes like me,
Mm-hmm.
you ain't gonna be needed. Tell them, tell them in the professional way that I had it laid out earlier as to about if lawyers are not careful, um, they're going to lose clients, and because clients are going to litigate things themselves.
Hmm. Okay. One last thought before I close. The legal profession isn't going away. Lawyers do critical work every day, but AI is changing how clients show up. Where people once brought a shoebox of
Hey,
papers,
Fifi.
some now arrive with organized records and clear timelines, and that can change the conversation. Some matters will still need counsel. Others may be handled pro se with better preparation. In my own situation, AI helps me work with the record I built, nothing more. The larger point is adaptation. People who learn to pair solid documentation with modern tools may become more effective advocates for themselves, and practitioners who embrace those tools may serve clients even better. That's where things are heading.
And with that, oh, my disclaimer, please.
Mm-hmm. Before I conclude, an important disclaimer. Nothing in this video is a finding of fact or a legal conclusion. The AI is a tool for organizing and presenting information. It doesn't create evidence or determine the truth. If anything I said is shown by records to be incorrect, I'll correct it. My aim is transparency and documentation, not accusation. This content is provided for informational purposes only and may change as facts are verified. Stay safe and stay grounded in the evidence. And thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.
Peace.